So everyone, Bill here again with an update on the VK4502 Porsche Vorne. I have pretty much got everything done on it. As you can see, it's been camouflaged. The gun is mounted. The turret interior is finished. I made some modifications on it. I'll go through them. All that really needs to be done now is weathering. And yeah, I came across a couple of mistakes that I made while building it. Lesson to be learned: always mount the tracks after you've weathered behind the wheels. I should have known better, but I was in a hurry to get it finally with tracks mounted. Anyway, let me show you some of the differences that I made. As you know from the earlier videos, this is a full metal barrel, and the turret does detach. I've added just some decals to it just for my own sake. I've also added some track brackets and extra track links on the side. I made that simply from stretching sprue and drilling holes into the turret, and then adding a bar across the top to hold them down, so to speak. And I've done that on both sides. The turret interior is complete and in. And that was a fun piece of work, because while mounting the barrel, the mounting brackets for the barrel and gun assembly detach themselves from the interior of the turret up here. They are not very strong. And while pushing the barrel in to make sure that everything was sitting correctly, which was another point, I mounted the mantlet on upside down the first time and noticed that after I had set it down that the curve was wrong. So I had to force it back off, and in doing that, broke the attachment points for the gun mount. The nice thing is, though, the turret basket is basically only mounted here and here, and one other point here, right here to the side. So after detaching carefully these 3 points, I was able to pull the basket out, repair the gun mount, and get it so that it stayed in correctly. It's pretty hard to see, but there is an awful lot of detail inside of that turret. An awful lot of work that went into it. But you can't really see much of it after the fact. Pity. Although the rear hatch, if I can get it open, hold on a second. The rear hatch does open up, and you can see somewhat inside of the turret through there, the ammunition stowage. And both hatches, I have to do this off camera, sorry. Both hatches do open up, the commander's and the gunner's hatch. And you can see in through there. One modification I had to do to the commander's hatch was add a pin and drill out a hole there, so that it could be in the open or closed position as such. Later on, I'm going to have commander's figure in there, so just for fun. The hatches are not glued in place so that I can close them or open them as I see fit. And otherwise, it was a kit in a kit, just this turret alone. But it was worth it. At least I think so. Another couple of modifications that I did were on the hull. The brackets for the tow cable are just these little half clips and they're not very stable, so I stretched some sprue, flattened it out, and drilled it into the sides so that I knew it would hold on, and basically made my own system of holding that cable in place. There is a partial interior inside of here, but it doesn't look all that great. For the wire cutters, there are two little PE parts that I added to that to hold it down. I'm horrible with PE, so basically I just made it look good. Obviously, as you had seen from the last update, there are fenders added to this. This came from the VoyagerModels kit, which I think definitely improves how this whole vehicle looks. It has more of a finished product look with it, with these fenders on it. And the tracks are from MasterClub, and although they're supposed to be workable, they still had to be glued together a lot like magic tracks. Nonetheless, I think they turned out pretty darn good as far as look. On here on the bottom, you can see I've been making a test with chalk for weathering, and it seems to be working out pretty good. The best thing is, if you don't like it, you just get it wet and wipe it off, just like oil paints. Then I also added, this may not be visible. Let's see here. No, you can't really see it. It won't focus. But on the antenna mount, there is a wire antenna with a butterfly screw to hold it down. And I added additional track links to the rear. The kit had a set of clamps that held it in place, but they were very fragile and you could not easily take the tracks on and off. I did the same as I did with the turret. So that's basically it for now on this. I will be starting to do the weathering tonight and make a final reveal real soon. Thanks for watching, and keep modeling.